Welcome, fellow agent duelists, and I guess interested Yu-Gi-Oh players. If you're interested in the archetype, that's totally fine. Welcome to another video about me discussing the agent deck profile I've been working on. This one's going to be mainly for Genesys. Just to recap, I just got back from NAWCQ last week. And I participated in the Genesys main event, which was open invitation, which was pretty great. I didn't have an invitation. I didn't do so great in the main event, but I did do quite a few winner mats and ended up getting a mat out of it, so that was great. Probably participated in like 6 or 7 winner mats, so that was really fun. It was a great weekend. It was a good weekend seeing Henko win the Genesys main event, and then seeing Ryan Yu win the advanced main event. So it was a great time. Definitely recommend checking those out if you're ever able to. But this video will specifically focus on where I'm at with the deck in terms of the build and what I'm playing right now, and what I'll be doing moving forward. There's not going to be any advanced in this video. That'll probably be a separate video. Also, I haven't played too much of my advanced deck list. And I didn't get to play it during the NAWCQ, even though I had my cards, because I just felt like Genesys is something I knew better, so then I could, get a mat eventually. So I figured I would stick with that for the weekend, and ended working out. So I guess without further ado, let me get started on the main deck list. Previously, you'll remember that I was running mostly like a synchro pile agent list with a sprite engine, a big sprite engine. I was using Guardianiatos, I was using Assault Synchron, I think maybe I was using Revolution Synchron, and I was using a couple of copies of Ready Fusion. But I always knew that that version of the deck was not necessarily going to last, especially because like you would dump your hand out and hope to get a synchro out, Master Flare obviously, and not get too much in return for it. Also, there was a bunch of standalone cards that didn't really do stuff together, like Ready Fusion and Assault Synchron and Guardianiatos. They don't do much outside of trying to help you synchro, which was not great. And so I always knew that it was not really going to last, and I was going to keep looking for new engines to help, especially in the Genesys list. I know for Advanced I was playing Runic, which is super awesome. I think I'm still playing it in my Advanced list, but for Genesys I wasn't having as much luck up until this engine came out, and I'll just mention it right now. I'm playing an Elfnote Engine, which is super great, super helpful. Fills a ton of gaps that the agent deck has already. Helps you do a few things. Helps you synchro climb into Master Flare. The Elf Notes by themselves do things by themselves. Like if you ever open up just your Elf Notes cards, you can totally go into some full Elf Note combo. It fills the gap of getting you to synchro summon like Guardianiatos and Ready Fusion and Assault Synchron did, while doing it better because they're all cohesive to each other. They have secondary effects as well, and that's something that this deck really lacks, especially because agents are from like an era of Yu-Gi-Oh where cards were only like one effect and not too great of an effect. Meanwhile, the Elf Notes sort of do so many different things all at once, and it helps you fulfill the gap of what the deck really needed. So without further ado, let me get started and show you the deck list. And after I show you the deck list, I'll show you out the main combos that I managed to come up with. And a lot of these I came up on the fly during the winner map, because it's one thing to sort of think about things in your head, and then when you actually do it in the tournament, it ends up playing out differently. So I think some of these can be improved upon. Feel free to let me know if you have suggestions. But you'll see what I'm trying to do with the deck. Yeah, let me know. Okay, so we have your agent lineup, which I'll sort of just blast through, which is 3 Earth, 3 Venus. Yes, even in Genesys you do still play 3 because you have so much synchro going on here. You have to play 3. 2 Neptune, because I can't really be convinced that 3 is the right way to go, especially when it's not a starter. And you'd rather search this out, honestly, than try to open it in every hand. It's just not that great. 1 Venus, Destruction Venus. I'm not playing Majesty anymore because it doesn't really do much, and it even as a small world target, I think it's not as great now that I dropped a few things. And it's only searchable by Sacred Waters. You can't dump it with Moon. You can't search it with Parshath. You can't You can't search it with Earth if you have Fallen Sanctuary, because I'm also not playing Fallen Sanctuary. But yeah, it's just wasn't great. So maybe I'll think about it, but for right now, I'm not playing it. Then I'm playing 3 Elfnote Lucina. That's gonna start off the Elfnote package, which, like I said, helps you synchro climb a lot. You'll see that all of the Elfnotes have level 6, which really helps you with synchro climbing into Master Flare. So 6 plus 2 of Earth is going to give you 8. 8 searches out, Earth searches out Neptune. So you bring back the Earth, so that goes 8 plus 2 is going to give you the Master Flare you need. So you really just need the Synchro Fairy monster to bridge into that. And in my case, I'm playing the Angeliki card that came out, Angeliki Bastion, which has been really good. So 3 Lucina, 0 points in Genesys, very good. 1 Regina, 40 points unfortunately, but I think you only ever need the 1 copy, especially because this only special summons itself by sending a Elfnote card you control from field to graveyard, and in this case you're playing a smaller Elfnote package than usual, so you only ever need 1, honestly. I never came in the scenario where I wanted to play more than 1 throughout the weekend. 3 Tinia, because once again it's a free body for synchro climbing. Also get you your welcome home out of the deck so that you can continue synchro summoning, which is super important for the Venus line because it gets you a tuner onto the field where you normally wouldn't have one. 1 Fortuna. This gets the trap out of the deck. A lot of times I'll find myself bringing her out of the deck as opposed to Tinia because of the fact that I do like the recycling and bringing something back. It's really good for some of the plays I'm doing. And the trap card is phenomenal, honestly. It's so good. It won me so many games throughout the weekend. And then I'm playing 1 Power Patron. I don't think you need more than 1. I think 1 is fine. I never really want to draw this, so it's good at that. That's pretty much it. Pretty standard, I think, for Elfnotes. Okay, I'm playing 1 Medius. I guess not honorary mention of the Elfnote package, but also this I'm playing because of the fact that I'm playing Theorealize, which is a 1-card starter I found for the deck, and I'll show you that combo in a second. But only 1 Medius and 3 Theorealize. I don't want to draw a second. And even if I draw this one, then I can normal summon it and still full combo. There's still a way to full combo with just Medius. The Sprite package is a lot more trimmed down. Now it's only just 1 blue, 1 jet, 1 red, 1 carrot. Previously it was 3 blues, but here you're not playing as many level 2s like the Ready Fusion or the Assault Synchron or the Tunings. So only 1 because I only ever want to bring it out to the gigantic Sprite line. And 1 Jet Synchron just for the level modulation that Accel Synchron gives you. If I could drop this, I totally would, but Accel Synchron is just so versatile that this makes it worth it. And 3 Shine Ball. Okay. For the spells, 3 Sacred Waters, fairly self-explanatory, great card. The 3 Theorealize, this card is great because it basically is a 1-card starter to a full board, and it's a replacement for Diviner, at least in Genesys, because of the fact that this gets you Master Flare, but this also gets you other stuff. It bridges into your Elfnote engine, so it's super awesome. Definitely consider it after I show you the combo that I came up with. I feel like it's very good, and it's not really even bricky, honestly, because of the fact that all the other cards you're playing, other than the Power Patron, do things by themselves. 3 Small World because it's 0 points and it's a good searcher. There's some good searching lines, although I haven't found all the lines. It's still very good. The 1 Elfnote Welcome Home for bringing a tuner out onto the field or bringing out any Elfnote that you're missing. It's really good for Venus because it gives you a synchro where you would not have one already, because Venus by herself can't access a synchro here like it does in Advance. Starter for the Jet. Really such a good card, honestly. Like this and Theorealize were MVPs of the weekend. This negated Dark Ruler. I'm pretty sure I negated a Forbidden Droplet with this. Negates anything on the field as long as it's not a counter trap, obviously. So it's a pseudo Omni negate. It doesn't negate hand traps or graveyard effects, but anything on the field it can hit. And so it's just another level of protection for your board. And then 1 Mana DM Reframing because you can search it with Visas, which you can make fairly easily in this deck. I would consider siding this, but for the weekend. I didn't know what else to play, and I just kept it in, and it was pretty good. So this puts the main deck at 40 cards. I might bump it up to 42 or 44 because of the fact that I drew Shine Balls and the Power Patron monster a little bit too often. So I feel like if I go to 42 or 44, it'll help decrease that, and I can fit some other good cards in the deck. It's mostly about trying to figure out what cards to put into there. For the synchros, let's start off with the big guy himself, Master Flare. Self-explanatory. Awesome banish effect, which puts so much pressure on my opponents. Like, sometimes they forget that it can basically stop a continuous spell, a field spell, which was great. Love this guy, but I'd only play one of him anyway. One Cupid Pitch. This is helpful for synchro climbing, gets you Neptune out of the deck, etc. Excel Synchron for the level modulation. Still very good, even with having to play the Jet Synchron brick. It's somewhat a brick, honestly, but still very good. And you use them in the Theorealize line to get you to Master Flare, which is awesome. Black Rose, because the elf notes can help threaten this very, very easily. I Black Rose someone during one of the Winner matches for probably 6 or 7 cards. It was a zombie player. He was playing the new pumpkin support and making these pretty good boards. So after I baited everything, I managed to sort of just end on an elf note that would get me the Power Patron, and then make this and nuke the board, and then continue going with the rest of the elf note stuff. So it was very good. One Seraphim, you only really need one in this build, mainly for getting into Crystal Wing, or it can also make Excel Synchron actually. Visas Amartara for searching out Manidium, and it's a level 8 tuner, so this plus a Shine Ball gets you Master Flare. Stardust, he's just there as a placeholder right now. I never made him. I don't know any lines for using him. I don't think there's too many because I'm really only playing one level 10 synchro. So maybe if I considered something else, he'd be okay. But for right now, he's just there in case. Crystal Wing for the Elf Note whole package. It makes it very easy to make, and I made him a few times in the Winner mats, and he helped a lot. This guy is very good, obviously. For one, he's a good monster by himself. He's a level 8 fairy synchro, and he can banish any card within his column. It targets, but that's okay. But most importantly, this helps you go into Master Flare when you have Earth and any Elf Note. Because you make this, you use Earth to search Neptune brings back Earth, and then this plus Earth is going to give you Master Flare. Junora, I never made this. I think that I already have the Junoto, I think, Elf Note Pendulum monster coming in the mail, and I think he cheats this out, but I never made this regardless, so I don't know too much about how to best make it, but it seemed like a good Elf Note card, so I just threw it in, and I needed to fill up my extra deck anyway. And I threw this guy in as well. I never made him as well, but he might be easily made, I think. Haven't thought about a way to make him, but he's a good main monster zone wipe or a spell and trap wipe, which is pretty decent, but I'd be happy to cut him if anyone has any suggestions. The Gin Buster, this guy, I made him practically every game that I won. I want to say I made him, because his negation is so good right now. So many times my opponents would look at my board and they'd be thinking they could deal with it, but then they remember he's on the field, and then that's where they sort of like scooped, or like, they realized they couldn't break the board. Gigantic Sprite, nothing much to say other than like he is such a reliable piece and to end on. He gets you full Sprite combo, he gets you a spell trap negation and monster negation by himself, so he's awesome for the deck. If you're not playing it, I honestly think you should reconsider and think about it. It's so good. We play so many level 2s, obviously. He makes it worth it to try to come up with come up with lines that you can still use his effect even when you get synchro locked in the turn. Obviously you make him before you get synchro locked, but yeah. Onibi's Maru Soul Sweeper, because this helps you go helps you attack your opponent's board when you go in second and you have Venus, and then you can use your Elf Notes for doing other stuff. Yeah, he was pretty decent. I'd definitely keep him in, I think. And then one of your ending board pieces for the Elf Notes is Norito. Obviously, He requires 2 level 6 spellcasters, which is your elf notes, but you want to make sure you make this before you get synchro locked at all. But when I did make him, he was good because he's spell trap negate and helps, stop obviously all of the spells that people are playing right now. So very useful. Okay, and the side deck I will just sort of go fairly quickly because it's fairly standard, nothing special here. 3 Dark Ruler. Just self-explanatory. Try to go when you go second. Try to turn off your opponent's board and keep going. Final Bringer the End Times. This is going first or second depending on the matchup. It helps you get some utility out of a monster that you know was gonna get destroyed anyway. 3 Warning Points, which was good for quite a few decks that rely on XYZ, Synchro, or Fusion Summoning because it can stop all those while negating the monster's effects. 3 Simulon Archfiends. I can't say too much about these because I didn't get these off at all during the tourney. I might cut them because it doesn't seem like that great, honestly. And 3 Gravity Collapse because even though this card should be pointed, you should still play it if you can because it's 0 points. And it basically turns off your opponent's turn when you get it. There's matchup it's not great at, like Blitzkrieg and stuff like that, but it's good against the Tellers. It's good against Cool Tunes. Once they normal summon, you can cut them off, stuff like that. So I didn't get it off, but I do think it's a good card regardless, especially when you're going first. Okay, and now the first combo I'm going to show you guys is going to be the Theorealize combo, actually, mainly because I think it really showcases the power of the deck, the power of Theorealize, and the power of how elf notes work with the agents. So, 3 Small World, 1 Theorealize, 1 any monster. Doesn't have to be a Shine Ball, just for illustration purposes. So put these over here, and I'm going to activate Theorealize. It's going to send our Medius Appear to the graveyard. Now we can use, we also got to look at the opponent's top of their deck and choose to put it to top or bottom. So it's really good knowledge on what your opponent's playing as well. It lets you shift your plays and what you want to bring out. Okay, so this is sent, and we're going to activate Medius' effect by shuffling the Shine Ball back to the deck. And we're going to summon Medius. Doesn't really matter where. We're going to use this effect to special summon the Power Patron. And you'll notice I'm trying to sort of steer clear of using the main monster zone. That's mainly because I'm in this mindset where our elf notes will be going there, so it's really important to make sure we don't clog it up unless we need to. So it's going to be 1 plus 4. For Excel Synchron, and you can use the Power Patron to search, and Medius gets banished. And in this case, we will search for our Lucina right there, add it to our hand, and then we can special Lucina, and we can use the effect to search for Regina. Add Regina to hand. And then we're going to use Excel's effect at some point. I guess, we don't need to do it yet. Swap this out for the Regina by special summoning using its effect. Effect when it's specialed is to special summon a elf note from the deck. And in this case, it's going to be yellow, I believe. Great. I'm going to use yellow's effect to place. Okay, just move these up. So now we have this board so far. Now we can use Excel to dump. So he's going to be level 4 because of that. I want to decrease him by the level of the Synchron monster sent. And one more thing, we're going to banish Theorealize to target this, make it into a light fairy. Really just needs to be a fairy. So 4 plus 6 is going to give us 10. And then 10 is going to be our Master Flare. Let's just put them right here. So you can sort of see where this is going. Regina, when she's sent, you can add her back to hand when she's sent as a synchro material. And we can use Master Flare's effect to copy now. Copy Venus. And use Venus's effect. So we're not yet locked into our synchros, which is good. Overlay these two for our gigantic elf just to get it out of the way. We won't be using its effect until way later. Okay. So this is our board so far. I think we are going to use the Elfnote effect, the trap card. Actually, no, we're not going to use it yet. We're going to bring out one more shine ball. And now we can use it. We're going to use Elfnote effect. Send a monster from your field or hand to the graveyard to special. Has to be a different attribute from the monster you sent. So in this case, if we sent a light, we're going to get a fire. And we're not yet locked, so we can still do these plays completely legally. And now we have our first spell and trap negate. Okay. Now from here, I think we used all our shine balls. We do have a jet in the graveyard, but I don't believe we need it. Not yet, at least, or probably not at all. Now I think we can XYZ lock ourselves, or level 2 lock ourselves. So gigantic. I'm gonna search for special blue. Blue is going to search for jet. Jet special. Jet search. And in this case, I kind of do want to put the degen in the middle, because it's very likely he's going to use his effect, be one of the first ones to use his effect throughout the next turn, our opponent's turn. So if we tribute him off with a carrot, which we're going to pull out using the starter, then open up our main monster zone for the Regina we have in our hand if we need to. Now we use starter. And that can bring out either carrot or red, but I really do enjoy negating spells and traps, so we'll have the carrot here. And so that's our full board. Let me try to move this to get this all in the camera. So this is our full board from the Theorealize. This is spell and trap negate. Oh, let me start to move these. Spell and trap negate, spell and trap negate, monster negate. Just there for next turn. Quick effect banish. And anything negate. Now you'll notice we don't have a counter trap right now, like Mana DM reframing. I haven't come up with a line yet for getting Visas out in this. There's probably a way to do it, but you might have to synchro lock yourself before you make Naruto and the Gem Buster. You can probably still make Sprite, but you probably can't make these two. So it's really about the trade-off that you're willing to accept. And in our hand we have the 3 other cards we don't know that we have, and 1 Regina. It's going to be live, like when you get rid of this, but you also want to be able to use her effect if you want, like to bring something out. Otherwise you can always just swap something here for one of your elf notes and then use your elf notes effect there. So that's really the power of Theorealize. It's really good. Highly recommend looking into it. It's like Diviner, but even better. It's 1 card. This is what it does in Genesys. I can't imagine what Advanced looks like, but I'm sure it's just as powerful. So hopefully this convinces you to take a look at the elf notes, take a look at Theorealize. I'll go over the rest of the combos now, but they're all going to look fairly similar to this. This combo is going to be what you do when you open up Earth plus any elf note. In this case, Lucina. So the combo can get a little bit worse if you only open Fortuna or Regina or Tinia. Actually, Regina might not let you do anything because you can't really special summon her because she requires an elf note to special summon herself. So there'll be a floor to this that you can do with Tinia, Fortuna, or Lucina because they special summon themselves, and Regina probably just a brick, honestly, unfortunately. So hopefully you don't draw it. But let's get started, and you'll see sort of how this sort of plays very similarly to how Iatos played in the previous build that I used. So what I would do here is probably, honestly, I'm just trying to think how I would play it if I was like in an actual match, and which one I really want to resolve. I guess I'd want Lucina to resolve the most, so I'll normal summon Earth, do the effect of search. You're gonna get your Neptune. And now to your special, your main monster zone, you get a special Lucina effect. Search for Regina. I have Regina here. Regina is going to special summon itself by sending Lucina. Effect of Regina to special. Pretty sure it's just going to be Fortuna. Okay. And now we can do our synchro climbing. For Bastion. And now we can discard the Neptune. Special summon back the Earth. Earth plus Bastion is going to give us 10. For our favorite big guy, Master Flare. So you can sort of see where this is now starting to go. Master Flare is going to dump Venus to copy. Bring our 2 Shine Balls. Overlay into our Gigantic. Fortuna to place. Bring out the last Shine Ball. Put that here. I think we're going to do the Rhapsody swap. Oh yeah, we were able to add Regina back to hand because of the fact we used it as synchro material for the Bastion. We're going to send the Shine Ball for Rhapsody to bring something back. Bring back the Lucina. Overlay these 2 for your Naruto. And you can very quickly see once again where we're starting to go. Blue search for Jet. Jet search, starter. Make the degen. Starter effect. And bring out Carrot. So it's pretty much the same board as before, I think. Yeah, pretty much exactly it. This is your field. Once again, I couldn't get to the Manadium trap, but there's probably a line for it. It just might require you to not be able to go into these 2. The levels with the elf notes does get a little bit awkward for bringing out Visas, but there's definitely probably a way to do it with some level modulation, especially with the elf note synchro and stuff. It's just about whether or not you want to take that route. Okay, that's it for this combo. And this combo is gonna show you guys the Venus Elfnote Lucina combo. Requires this to be Lucina because of the lines here, but I'll make a Tinia one just in case. So let's get started. 3 other cards. I'm going to summon Venus. We're going to bring out 2 Shine Balls for right now. 1, 2, and making sure we don't block out the main monster zone for Lucina. Special Lucina. Lucina's going to search for your Regina. Regina special by sending that. And you're going to special the Power Patron. Okay. So our field is full of all these small monsters. We're going to do 1 level 1 tuner plus 2 is going to give us 5. into our Excel Synchron. And we're going to get the Power Patron search. For that case, we will just search out Fortuna, I believe. Okay, we are not going to use the Excel Synchron effect. I'm going to bring out the last shine ball with the Venus. And now we can start synchro climbing. So 5 plus 3. It's going to give us our Visas, and I'm pretty sure I want to pop this to clear this space for the Fortuna, because I'm not going to synchro summon with it, with this especially. So effect pop, just going to gain, it's fine. Also, we searched for the Mana DM reframing. That's the whole reason we went into Visas in the first place. And then 8 tuner plus a level 2 non-tuner. Gonna give us our Master Flare finally. And cool. Now we can continue with the Elfnote line. We can special the Fortuna place. And you can start seeing a bunch of things. We are going to use Master Flare to dump and copy the Destruction Venus. And what are we sending? I want to say what are we summoning? I think we're going to do 1, 2, yeah, I think we're going to do all 3 shine balls. 1, 2, and 3. And we can do these 2 into our gigantic. We're not going to use the effect, and we're not locked yet. This trap doesn't lock you, which is awesome. Okay. And now I think we're going to swap this shine ball using Rhapsody with a non-light Elfnote. I guess we can do, it doesn't really matter to be quite honest, but let's just do the Lucina for the heck of it. Overlay these 2 to our Naruto. And then finally we can do the gigantic sprite effect for the combo. Sprite combo. And blue, jet, search. I'll get the carrot out just to keep it out of the deck. Overlay. Gen. Sprite starter for carrot. And you have Mana DM reframing in this hand. Plus 3 other cards that could be anything. So, Spell Trap Negate, Monster Negate, Quick Effect Banish, nothing, anything negate, Pseudo Omni Negate, and a Omni Negate. Awesome. Great board, all using Venus and Lucina. Now for this combo, it's going to be the pretty basic combo of Earth and Venus, or Earth and Sacred Waters in the Sky. Yeah, pretty much any combination of those 3. You're going to summon Earth, search for your Neptune. Now you have these 2. You're going to discard Neptune for your Venus. Venus is going to bring out all the balls. You don't have any Elfnotes here. You could theoretically bridge into Elfnote Engine if you ran June Pride, which I don't right now. It's a bit too many points, 25, for not a great payoff in my opinion. So we're just going to go and make the Master Flare appear. It's going to be Cupid Pitch, increased by level 2, level of the tuner, so it's going to be 6 plus 8. Visas, you're going to do search for Visas and search for Cupid Pitch. You'll notice I'm using a smaller version of the deck because I'm only using the cards I need. Just makes it easier. And here's the rest of the deck. So I'll just search for the second Neptune for a follow-up for next turn. Great. Okay, and then 8 plus 2. It's going to give us 10 for Master Flare, and we can start recycling those shine balls. Master Flare is going to copy Venus. Destruction Venus, And we can recycle the balls. I'm pretty sure we're only going to bring out 2. Overlay these 2 into our gigantic sprite. Sprite effect. Search out blue. Blue is going to search out Jet. Jet's going to give us our sprite starter. I'll leave the carrot here just for easy access. Overlay these 2 into our Degen Buster. Use the sprite starter for the carrot. And there you have it. Fairly decent board, not as strong as the other ones, because this could be something else if we had other stuff. But we do have Monster Negate, nothing here, Quick Effect Banish, Spell and Trap Negate, Omni Negate, follow up for next turn, 3 other cards in your hand that hopefully could have helped you make this board a little bit better. Like I said, you can play around with, instead of making Master Flare, you could have no, I guess in this case, no, you couldn't really have, not with the line I made, you couldn't have made the June Pride, but there is a way to do it. It obviously requires a Spellcaster Synchro, non-tuner, so you could run a, like, level 8 non-tuner Spellcaster Synchro monster, like Enlightenment Paladin, or, the one that switches out Assault mode. They're both level 8s, and then you could use Earth to tune with that to bring out the June Pride, and June Pride can then banish itself, I think, on your turn, and it can special summon elf notes from the hand, graveyard, or deck. So you get one from the deck, and then continue with an elf note line from there. It's really about how much you think it's worth it. Right now, I don't think it's worth it. It very well could be. Hopefully, if they decrease the points, maybe in the next list to, like, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 15, that would be good. But 25, right now, it's more than what this deck would allow. So I think it's fair, and you just take these as they come. Okay. This combo is going to showcase what you're doing when you run into Earth plus Tinia, that combo line. Still very similar to Lucina, but you get synchro locked way earlier. So you can summon Earth, search for your Neptune to hand, special Tinia effect to place, the welcome home. Synchro these 2 into your level 8 Bastion. And then you're going to discard Neptune for Earth, obviously. Synchro to Master Flare. And Master Flare is going to bring out probably all 3 Shine Balls. Now you'll see that I'm kind of limiting myself by making Gigantic Sprite instead of using the Shine Balls as synchro material. That's pretty much player preference in this case. I just really enjoy the protection that the Sprite gives you with the carrot or the red, whatever you want to do. In this particular combo line, regardless, we wouldn't really be able to go into the Sprite Degen line. We'd get synchro locked pretty early, so I'm just going to keep this here for now. But like I said, you can choose to just keep the Shine Balls on the field for synchro summoning. I just like this. If you have other synchros you'd like to go to that give you better end board than what I'll show you, then totally up to you. Activate Welcome Home by sending the Shine Ball. And bring out, I believe it's going to be Lucina. Lucina effect is search. Search for Regina. Send. Regina special. Regina's gonna special from the deck. So we have these 2 now. I think we're going to go into our level 7. And we're going to get both of these effects. This one got used as synchro material, so get that back to the hand. This lets you search. Searching for that. That gets added to the hand. I think I'm going to special this, and we're going to place. And we're doing this before we use the Seraphim effect on purpose, because you'll see what we're going to go for. Now we're going to use the Elfnote effect to bring back the Power Patron. We're going to use the effect of decrease in this case. So everything on the board that's level 4 or greater gets decreased by 3. So this goes to 4 since it's level 7. This goes to 3 since it's level 6. And Hyperion gets decreased, but I don't really care. So 4 plus 1 is going to give us Excel Synchron, level 5, no effect, level 5 tuner, level 3 light. It's going to give us the Visas effect to search for the reframing to hand. And we can swap for the Rhapsody swap. So, because we haven't used it, so I'll just send this for, I think we'll just do the Elfnote Seraphim. So it's 3000 attack right now. Going to set this. Going to activate the Gigantic Sprite. For the Carrot, for the Spell and Trap Negate. And this is our end board with Tinia and Earth. Spell and Trap Negate. Nothing really, unfortunately. This can quick effect revive later, but it doesn't have too much right now, honestly. Even at the start of the opponent's turn. Quick effect banish, nothing. Pseudo Omni, Real Omni negate. 3 other cards in hand. So that's this board. There's a few caveats. Like I said, you could have probably ended up with a totally completely board. Actually, I think I've already played it out. And if you didn't use the shine balls for the sprite, you could have ended up with Crystal Wing, a level 10 Synchro, probably Fabled Leviathan since it doesn't have any points and it's a quick effect monster negate, I think. Monster negate, and you take it. You still keep the Master Flare. I think you have 2 end board, two monster zones that are unused. Or maybe you could have brought back one of your elf notes for the heck of it. And you would have ended up with the Manatheum Reframing Trap. So, totally player preference. I think this is a little bit stronger. Maybe not totally. I mean, the one I just spoke about doesn't have the Spell and Trap Negate from the Carrot, which I feel is very important. So, totally up to you. I like this. Also, one caveat with this board as well. If I had another monster card in my hand that I could have sent for Welcome Home instead of sending the Shine Ball, I could have kept this Shine Ball. There's a way that I could have kept this Shine Ball, I think, to make Visas, to make a Leviathan at some point. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to make at least Leviathan, so it would have been another negate, I guess. But still pretty decent. Yeah. This is either the last combo I'll show you or second to last, but this one's going to be Venus and Tinia, which you can see here. There's no immediate synchro no tuner, so we're going to have to get synchro locked pretty early once again. So let's give that a shot. Put Venus here, bring out 2 shine balls. Once again, I am preferring to summon Gigantic Sprite fairly early, but no effect. And I'll tell you that this part is where I sort of literally sat and thought for an hour about how to do this, but we're going to do Tinia to place to Welcome Home. And this one took me a while actually, so let me know your thoughts. You're going to use Welcome Home to send Tinia, not a Shine Ball. And you're going to bring out, you're not even going to bring out Regina, you're going to bring out the Power Patron itself. And you're going to bring out the last Shine Ball with Venus. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. Okay, this can target the monster in the main monster zone and increase it by its level by 3. So increase this by 3 to level 5. Venus and the Power Patron go into a level 4 synchro because Power Patron's a tuner. This increases or decreases by level of the tuner, so go up to 5, level 5 tuner, level 5 non-tuner, and you can see where we're going with this. Oh, I forgot to search for the Power Patron, so I'll do that as well. So I'll get the Regina for the Power Patron, I think. No, actually, I'll get the Lucina. and get the Cupid pitch. Search for the Neptune, and finally the synchro that we actually brought out was the Master Flare because of the level 5 Cupid pitch, level 5 Shine Ball. Boom. Okay. Awesome. You can see that we're getting somewhere with this, and he will be able to copy Destruction Venus in this case. Okay, from here, let me try to remember exactly what happened. I think that we special the Lucina search for Regina, send special Regina effect. I think we're doing this. Fortuna to place. Okay. So we have these here. What are we doing? I think we're going to use Rhapsody to swap. Or am I doing Rhapsody to swap? Yeah, I think so. Let's get the Power Patron here. Or I'll swap this so that Regina I can add back to hand later. This is 1 plus 6. It's going to give us 7. This is going to bring something back. If I choose to show, I'll bring out the Power Patron. And I'll decrease everyone's level by 3, so this goes down to 7 minus 3 is going to be 4. 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. And now we have Excel Synchron. Notice we still haven't used Master Flare, even the copy effect. So what I can do in this case is, let's say, what else can I make here? I could want to make the Crystal Wing. I definitely want to make Visas. So I'll discard this to bring back our regular Venus. It's going to give us these two. 5 plus 3 into our Visas. We're going to get the search. Boom. And now we have we do have a Shine Ball we can use by copying the Destruction Venus. And we're going to use the copied effect. Bring back the Shine Ball from our graveyard. Now I don't have a level 10 here that I can make. But what I would probably end up doing is adding the Fabled Leviathan and making these two into that. So let's just say that this is now synchroned into Fabled Leviathan. And we can continue with the rest of this, making this use Gigantic Sprite. And I guess for the sake of it, just to pull stuff out of the deck, Jet's gonna search for Starter. Starter's gonna activate. We have these two, okay. And we have this. So this is our field with Venus and Tinia. We have a Spell and Trap negate. We have a this is Fabled Leviathan, so it's a monster negate, and a take control. Nothing with these two. We have a Master Flare, we have a Omni negate, we have a Rhapsody. So like I said, this one's coming in the mail, so that'll be okay. But really, the main thing I've been trying to do is think about a way to get Crystal Wing out with this field, which I feel like it's not possible. I literally thought about it for an hour, and I couldn't find a line that would let me get the Visas Amartara and the Crystal Wing on the board. Obviously not the two together, but even throughout the whole combo line. So if anyone wants to play around with this and let me know if you can get to a Crystal Wing somewhere in here instead of, like, you know, this, feel free to let me know. or even instead of the Fabled Leviathan, I think Crystal Wind would be better, but I'm just not seeing the lines, unfortunately. It can get quite convoluted with the way that you're level modulating and how much it can branch off, and even getting the Shine Ball plus the level 5 Shine Ball plus the Cupid Pitch took me a while, so my brain is probably a little bit tired from that. So if anyone wants to play around and let me know, I think that's it for this one. And now for the last combo I'm going to be showing. It's going to be what do you do when you open Medius by himself. This can or cannot be a monster. Like if you have all spells and traps, it's fine. You just won't get as good of a board, but chances are that you'll probably have at least one other monster in addition to Medius when you hard draw him. And you're only running one, so you won't really ever need to do this. Although if you consider adding like a Power Patron prohibited spell Terminus, whatever, then that'll let you search out Medius, in which case you'd be able to replicate this more often. So up to you. I might consider adding that card to my hand as another starter for Genesys. It's also not pointed, and it searches out other things like Venus, Destruction Venus, or Majesty Hyperion if you're running it. So definitely something to consider, but here is what the combo goes, and it's pretty decent, to say the least, actually. So, Normal Summon Medius. I've heard both. Synchro Summon the Power Patron. Sorry, summon that Synchro Summon now for Excel Synchron. Effect of Power Patron to search. So this is where if you didn't have the Shine Ball monster in your hand, then you could shuffle this back for Medius, but then you get a way weaker board, so we're gonna pretend that's not the case. Shuffle this back to the deck to summon Medius. And now we're going to dump for Excel. And we're going to increase his level to 6. So increase by 1 to 6. And you can see where this is going. Banish Medius, because he was summoned with his effect. Into Master Flare, because Medius is a fairy. We fulfilled his requirements. Effect to send, to copy. Copy Venus, bring out 2 Shine Balls, and like I said, I like making Sprite first, so we will go and do that. There we go. And now we can continue into the Elfnote Bridge, Special Lucina, search for Regina, Regina Special by sending, Regina Special from deck, Fortuna's gonna place. Now you can see our levels are a bit too high to get to Visas, and it's be really convoluted to try and get to him. So I'm not gonna try to get to Visas, unfortunately, right now. And then what we will do here is I think we're going to bring something back, but I'm just trying to figure out what. Okay, we're going to, and you can do this in any way, I think. I'll probably just do it this way for the heck of it. I'll bring out the last Shine Ball, which I believe we have. Yep. We're going to do a swap from the Rhapsody for the Lucina. Overlay these two, I believe, into your Naruto. Awesome. And we keep this on the field because we might use it for Synchro Summoning, so it's a free resource back in our hand. Discard Small World. Bring out Jet Synchro Summon. Jet gets banished, this gets back to the hand. Make the elf note here. I guess we want this one in the middle for the... no, just in case. Ooh, actually, it's a good question. I guess in defense it'll go here. Yeah. We'll use the... will we use the effect yet? Yeah, I guess so. Use the effect. Bring something back. Bring back the Power Patron. Synchro Summon. and we're locked into synchro summoning after using that effect. A Crystal Wing and Sprite. I'm just going to bring out the Carrot. And that is our Medius board. What do we have? We have a Monster Negate, Spell and Trap Negate, Spell and Trap Negate, nothing, Quick Effect Banish, Pseudo Omni Negate, Regina back in hand for interrupting later, things like that. So, pretty good board off of Medius, actually better than some of the other boards, because you almost never see Crystal Wing plus Naruto together. Could probably modify it if you didn't make the gigantic sprite and you decided to just go full synchro, but this is how I like to play it. Feel free to build off of this. Let me know if there's any adjustments you can make that are better. I would definitely enjoy figuring out how to put Visas in here, but I don't think he can fit. I don't think we have the level modulation to get to him. And if we do, it's probably very... it's really hidden in there and I can't find it. So this is probably the last combo of the video that I am showing you. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys have any questions, feedback about the deck. Like I said, I really enjoy playing the Elfnote engine in it. You can see it's been doing really great for the deck. It does so many things that the deck doesn't do by itself already, so it fills that gap. And I think for Genesys, this is how I'm going to play it for the foreseeable future. I do know probably the Elfnotes will end up getting a little bit more pointed. I don't know if what they're showing was for Genesys, but I do feel like they might get pointed a little bit, in which case you'll just have to tinker around with it. But I feel like the core idea of the Elfnote will always be there. So Elfnotes plus agents will always be, in my opinion, will probably always work out in some way, shape, or form. So this is the deck. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, comments, any feedback. Let me know. Thanks to the guys in the agent Discord for always giving me feedback. Let me know if anyone wants to join that. But other than that, keep an eye out for the next video, which will probably be a detailed analysis of the advanced deck that I've been tinkering with. That'll probably be in a few more weeks. Okay. All right. Thanks. See you guys.